Friday, I did a poll on my Instagram story asking what kind of content you guys would want to see from me on YouTube next, and the majority of you voted my full branding process. So I'm going to walk you guys through exactly what happens when I start a new project with someone, and I'm going to take you through everything from the intro call all the way to the final deliverables. So when someone is interested in potentially working with me to brand their business, the first step is filling out a submission form through my website. From there, I decide if we should set up an intro call based on the information they've given me. We set up a time to kind of talk about their story, their goals, and determine what we can do together to reach their goals. During this call, I ask things about their business, where they currently are. I ask them about their budget, and I kind of explain the power of a full brand identity, because oftentimes potential clients don't really know that much about branding, and in their mind it's just a logo, when in reality it's so much more than that. After we've concluded the call, I fill out an entire proposal that includes everything from branding and web design to the timeline, the investment, and kind of how our project is going to flow in terms of what am I going to need from them, when am I going to need it by, and how are we going to make sure that we're staying on track with our project. Once I've got that proposal ready, I send it out to the client, and I use Bonsai for my proposals. I also use it for my contracts and invoices. Bonsai tells me when the client views my proposal, and it also tells me when they view my invoices or contracts. When a client is ready to move forward, all they do is choose the options that they would like on the proposal and hit accept proposal in the top right, which kicks off our project. Once I've received that a client is ready to move forward, I set up our project inside of Asana. I also set up our contract, the first invoice, and a folder inside of my Google Drive where everything for our project will be stored aside from Asana. Once I'm done setting up the project in Asana, I send them a link to it through email, and from here on out, everything is done inside of Asana. This really helps us keep everything in one place, stay on track, and it also helps me set boundaries with my clients. Once they've signed the contract and paid their first invoice, the real branding process starts. It starts out with my client creating a mood board on Pinterest, which I've also linked inside of Asana for them. I typically give my client about a week to create their mood board because I want it to be something that's really thoughtfully curated and not just a bunch of random stuff thrown together. Once they're done working on their mood board, I take it and start researching their industry, their ideal clients, the services they're going to be offering, and sketching out ideas based on all of those things combined. Once I think I have a pretty good set of sketches to work with, I pull them inside of Adobe and I start transforming those sketches into digital forms. Once I'm done, I usually end up with a ton of different little logo ideas, colors, fonts, and pieces all over a document, and I go through picking out each one that I think might be the best fit and playing with the fonts as well as the marks together to see what's going to form the best brand marks as well as additional collateral items together. Once I think I have a pretty solid idea or concept, I put everything together in an entire brand guidelines PDF, and I present this to them through a screen recording with a voiceover. So instead of getting on a call and trying to explain everything to them all at once, I send them a video that goes through this PDF talking about each and everything inside of their brand one by one, and explaining why I did certain things, why I chose certain fonts, and why this is going to work for their business. After that, I give my client a few days to come up with some feedback. And I ask very specific questions for my feedback to ensure it's constructive feedback and not just something really simple like, I don't like it, or I think that the blue color is ugly. In this situation, the client actually loved every single thing I presented and there were no further changes needed. My client also invested in custom website design, which is what happens with a lot of my clients. because branding and website design work together to form a really unique look and target ideal clientele through those different forms of media. Once we have finished up the branding, it's now time to move on to the website design. And I'm not going to cover that entire process during this video just because covering the branding process was so long. And to give you guys a rough idea of timeline, typically the branding process takes about a month and the website design can take up to 2 months. It really all depends on client communication, the kind of refinements we have, and if we run into any bumps along the way. On both of these things, I always allow for 3 refinements, and my client will not actually receive her brand files until we've concluded the website design portion. And that's only because during the website design portion at the end is when she pays her final invoice. And I don't send any brand files over until that invoice has been paid for security purposes. Lastly, I have my clients provide feedback on the entire process, and I request a testimonial from them because that really gives my business a lot of credibility. I hope you guys found this video very helpful and got a lot of insight as to how the branding process works. If you are another designer watching this, I highly recommend taking Branding with Bree by Rowan Made. That is how I learned a lot of these programs like Asana, Bonsai, and set boundaries with my clients. If you are an entrepreneur, business owner, blogger, influencer, or somebody else watching this and you think you might be ready to invest in your branding or custom website design, head over to my website to get started.